Open up the September 10th sewer commission meeting, 4:30, Elaine, aye.
Bill Watson, aye.
Okay, since we only have this till 5:30. Yeah, and then we'll do the rate study.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of 4:16, 4:30, and 5:08. 5:08.
Okay. I have 6:13, 6:18, 7:16,
These we had last month, last meeting,
and you're right, we did kick them.
right? So
Okay,
I'd like to make the motion on those three.
I'll second that one.
all in favor? Elaine, aye.
Bill Watson, aye.
Brian.
Okay.
You want to make a motion on these minutes?
I haven't looked at 7/16, 8/27.
Okay.
We did. Were those other two that one here? 6/13, ones you just did?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they weren't.
No. These
Okay.
here.
I honestly haven't had a chance to look at it.
Okay, so
Okay.
do I do 6:13 and 6:18?
Yeah. I can do
Okay.
I can make the motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. We have a guest, so Mr. Basler, are you here for something specific, or would you like to address the board?
Yeah, I'm just,
Would you like to join us? You can take the seat down there if you'd like.
There you go.
Doesn't have a back shot.
thank you. I don't know if you guys are aware, but the Board of Selectmen came up with a new policy of plowing private roads. Town of Kingston, they adopted it as of April 1st. Part of that policy is discussing conditions of the roads, raised manhole covers, potholes, stuff like that. So I sent out over 191 letters to residents and property owners on these private roads. One of them happens to be Country Club Way. So I met with the developer Country Club Way last week. He got a letter and he informed me that although most of the potholes to the right of the Country Club are business together, the raised structures on the road surface, the left side of the Country Club coming up to where your were acquired by the sewer commission in the domain. So I went and I came out, I talked to Dave, and Dave has said that, yeah, that's the case.
Well,
Not
No.
saying that the manholes are out,
right, but the manholes are hidden.
that we would discuss the topic here. I'm not sure how long that stuff lays out. There are approximately 20 manholes that are raised that are ours, but how that all plays out with who owns it, who doesn't, that's a separate.
We did not, it was made perfectly clear, we did not accept the road by eminent domain. What we got by eminent domain was reinforcing, which our deed gave us, the right to do what we've been doing in there, which is infrastructure.
Easement.
Yeah, an easement. So we do not own anything up there by eminent domain. Dave's acknowledging the 20 manholes, okay? And I would imagine once we're finished there, that those manholes, the paving will take care of the,
There are no manholes. Ours, West Main has no manholes. It's just what we just did is not a manhole in there.
Yeah,
okay,
all the new work doesn't have a manhole on
Oh.
the street. These are the original manholes for our sewer system that run throughout. As you come up to the country club, take that left on
Yeah.
Country Club Way, everything from there that wraps all the way around Links Way and back past the new leaching field on the actual road.
okay,
I believe when the sewer system was put in, those manholes were raised up so that when he did. fix
The final
road,
pavement, yeah.
They'd be at
Okay.
level with final
Yeah.
pavement. Those are the manholes that Paul's talking about is now, not now, but from the beginning of time, they were raised. He just never built the road up to meet with. them.
okay, then I guess my question is why, now if they've been like this for over 20 years, why now are they an issue?
Because the selectmen adopted new policy on the roads. Now it's on the
Yeah,
April.
I get it. I get it. So
Who, let me just ask this, sorry. Who originally put the sewer system? Was it The country club?
But that's exactly where I'm going.
Who did the construction?
The construction of the leaching field is done completely by him.
And then what about the sewer system within his property?
I have two questions for you at this, to clarify myself. So the force main going from the plant to the field, there are no manholes on it, right? Just to clean out in the area over the top. So the only manholes there are is that little stretch, is that little stretch of Country Club Way on the sewer?
The gravity line up there, the original gravity sewer
Yeah.
stretches from, if you pass the new leaching field entrance.
Yeah.
Go up, I'm guessing maybe 500 feet, 1,000 feet in that direction. Kind of dead ends there.
Beyond the leaching.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
comes down Country Club Way, past the leaching field, down that long stretch where we just
Right.
put our new
So nice
force main in, then cuts past around Lynn's Way, heads down to the Country Club itself.
So it eventually
And
goes
down
to
to
the Brook
Brook
Street.
Road.
Yeah, that's that. Okay, to make sure I, remember that. So those are all, like I said, those are all raised on purpose to deal with this. So we have a dilemma with the selectmen making a reasonably good decision for every place else. So,
Who installed those manholes?
I'm saying right now, I'm remembering, we did that. We built that system. There may be a part that, the Indian Pond Estates people did. I'm trying to, getting to the field, that piece of the, but there's no manholes on it. It's a force main.
Yeah.
Right, so that,
Other
that's
than
good.
those air relief valves,
Yeah,
which are off
which are
the
off,
street.
yeah, that's, so. That's a question, and I'm gonna say that's a question, but. Again, we did it on purpose for future work, which you pointed out.
Yeah.
The second question is there, going back to the supplement. Do we say, under the circumstances that stretch of road may make a waiver? That stretch of road, which is the super fund. Responsibility. Or if you somehow reinforce the manhole so that when, well, either way, we got a problem found, it's gonna be, they're reinforcing that now, so we found them last several years, right? So they were.
Yeah, we're having issues with them. That's
Yeah, I'm gonna say
So,
that after a while, yeah.
all I was thinking about, instead of adjusting all these manholes at the time right now, I'm assuming your paving contractor is gonna go out and make sure that trench is straight for them.
Mhm.
If they could just feather some of those manholes,
Just that's.
I can reach out with
Yeah,
Dave,
that's
the
what I'm
the bad ones.
And what, can we ask that the property owner put that in writing? That, I don't, a verbal discussion, okay, but if he's saying he's not gonna do it because it's,
Sort of.
Right. we want that in writing from him. Because our attorney may say, no, you don't have any obligation to that. But for this, to get us through this hump, I would agree that we can have those taken care of that need to.
You're suggesting leaving them at raised, but feathering them with new material so that plowing them becomes.
Just a little, right, a little easier.
Yeah, I was going the other way, I was going, they do make, it's expensive, he wants to plow again. So, all right, and that makes sense to me.
So, that, if I recall correctly, and I could be wrong, I can research this. The set of plans that we have showing all that stuff that was done up there wasn't done by CDM.
Well, that's why I have a
That was
question.
done
Yeah.
in-house.
Right.
By Indian Pond Estates, so,
That's the other part of that question is.
so if
make
they
sure.
drew up the plans. for
Right.
it, then they're the ones that put them in. They're the ones that raised them up to
Well,
meet that, what potentially would be.
I would just get a little bit, we designed it, definitely, CDM designed it for the sewer commission. He, I think, I wasn't sure who put it in, but if that's the case, he put it in with the idea that they're raised because he's gonna come and pay it. So,
I was told by the
It's very
developer
gray area.
that CDM designed it. Either he paid for the materials or he paid for the installation.
then have him put all that in writing. Because right now, it's just a statement.
my recollection is clearly, if it's, and I go with that, he put everything on his property, he did it. He wouldn't let CDM on the site. I did the inspection of the leaching field myself. That's why, but I wasn't sure about the pipe. That was kind of foggy 25 years ago.
I just know that our plans for everything within the town streets
Yeah.
are all done in a similar fashion.
Yeah.
And the ones for everything in the country club are more, let's say, less detailed.
He may have taken the CDM plans and then we did it himself and somebody else. I forget. He had his own contractor, he had his own workforce, he had everything. He paid the materials and he paid for the labor. Both.
That's the statement he made to me.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So, do you believe there's plans not for that, not by CDM?
I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe, and it was kind of from memory too, but looking at these plans, they look nothing like
Okay,
the rest of the plans in town.
okay.
The profiles are on there, some of the, topographical, planning for it all looks very different from everything else.
Okay.
From what I was told, he did the actual construction up there, because like
Yeah,
you said,
yeah.
he didn't want anyone on his
Right, that
property.
was definitely true.
He wanted to do it. So
Okay.
I would assume if that's the case, he did the designs and he did the install. And the town doesn't own the roads.
That's why it'll help to get what he's saying in writing and then we can, but so do we agree this time only until we hear something other? Because we already have the paving crew out there, we'll take care of the few that Paul believes need to be done?
I think it's prudent just from our own, our own stuff. If we do have it, somehow it's
We
ours.
didn't install the infrastructure for
No.
the sewer lines up there, so.
Right now, so if we start messing around with these frame covers, to then we commit that, hey, now they're our responsibility.
That's why I think getting back with Lane saying is the way to prudent, knowing where we're going with this person. That's prudent, but I think this gets it, just straightforward questions. Just going back, I know CDM designed it. He took it to himself and his own people, so he did a change of what was CDM designed. That's why it's on a different drawing with a different, everything else is different. But he never gave us an as-built. We just know where it is because the manuals are sticking like that.
We don't know up to what's hooked up to what. It was never, an engineer never approved it. Or signed off on. So I mean, he could have buildings up there that they're well water fed, draining into our system.
When do we think our paving crew is gonna be out of there?
They're done now. They won't be back till spring.
Okay,
That's the problem with that.
okay, so that,
So, sorry, but
go ahead.
CNC is also gonna be kind of cleaning up all the stuff on Main
Oh, that's
Street.
true. That's
So
true. They are gonna be in this.
where they're the same
Yeah, we
crews,
just
it
saw
might
that.
be something that they can
We
piggyback.
just sent them a letter the other day. They just won the award for one of my jobs.
Oh, good.
On the street. So they're
Good.
gonna be here.
Oh, good. That won't be a
So
problem.
we have an issue with time constraints with the asphalt plants.
Yeah.
You'd know better than.
Yeah, they closed December. The issue is November 1st, right out the door. I have to have a list of all streets that I sent these letters, I was 21 of them, that do not meet the new criteria as of November.
Okay.
How could the selectmen put that blanket across the whole town when they know that the issues that subdivision have? They should have just exempted it from private road.
If you exempt that private road for certain things, then you might as well ask for residents on that private road.
Well, they could.
Other,
I'll be honest, what's happening is I sent out 21 different streets. 191 letters. I've met with 8 of those street people, 8 different streets. I'm hearing all different stories about coming this late in the season. I know it's someone gonna send us the letters. Like today, I met people on Cobb Ave, we all know that.
yeah,
One of the issues is, as soon as you turn on Cobb Ave, there is a fence right on the backside of the road. Wish to have these people move this fence between now and November 1st and then July. What they're doing is they're writing a letter to the board of selectmen, asking the selectmen to waive this moving of the fence issue of that road for another year to give them another time to try to come up with money. They're not the only ones.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be on a case by case basis. My concerns, we've already seen a couple, we've got certified letters from I was told, send it to the developer and his lawyer, certified. And I was told, send a letter, copy that letter to all 91 people that own it.
Yeah. Well, that,
We did.
Yeah.
So far, we've seen one certified letter back, stating that they're gonna make sure that we have on notice and stuff, we got the same letter about liabilities issues if we don't follow it. Talking to the developer, when I was out there talking to him, he's assured me that all the other issues on that road that aren't concerned those vehicles, he's gonna fix before November 1st. Now, whether or not that's true, I don't know. I'll take him by his word.
yeah,
On
yeah,
October 29th, I will be driving the last time to check all these, and if they don't meet the criteria, or if the selectmen haven't given them a waiver, there will be a list on the town website November 1st saying these roads are no longer involved this year by the town. Now, if the selectmen, if you do want to take that, excuse me, then that's up to them, but
I don't understand why they implemented this so quickly when it needs a lot of flushing out. Because these are all privately owned streets, that are all in different conditions. That are major developments that they were supposed to finish off the road with. And put the final pavers, put covers on. I don't know, the selectmen just seemed like they jumped real quick on this.
I'm gonna just, prove it as word. I'm looking at this as actually, and I agree with you, because you heard both sides. I'm looking at this is actually could be a good thing. Because the whole neighborhood wants the streets fixed. They've been,
Yeah, the town's gonna pay for it.
no, I'm saying that, put the money back on the developer to do what he's supposed to do.
right.
You know, if he did that, this problem goes away, if they pay the streets. We don't have to raise the manholes, everything's already set,
It's already done.
done, everything's ready, you know, it's been like, we're talking 20 years, it's not like we're talking, 25.
So you have the option, if it's not up to par, not to plow it. Oh, good, okay. So you still have that.
Should, maybe ask for a waiver for the selectmen until we can figure out this situation?
I would think going back just to contract, I think doing the contract, that's our asset. I mean, I look at it, that's an asset.
Okay,
We don't want to be fixing them. You know, you knock a manhole, you'd spend an awful lot of time resetting a rim in a base, and who knows if you knock a cone off and all kinds of problems. So that's
okay,
10 times more trouble than it's worth. But so if we do the minimum, as Paul suggested, a minimum apron around it, that at least protects our asset.
okay,
So that if the plowing does happen, whoever does it,
Right.
Yeah.
whoever does it, we know our assets in place. Okay, so, but then I think going back for a waiver, to talk about this legitimately and say, yeah, but it's several steps.
yeah, because I'm looking at if we, and I agree, it's the asset. So I'm not disagreeing with that, I'm just taking it a step further with what we're dealing with. Now, we've paved a little bit, if something happens to the street, is it gonna go? I just want, if we're gonna do it, then this is what we're doing nothing more, this is all we're gonna accept is.
Not a good faith.
Right, we're not gonna, now continue to plow the street because it's cracked because we feathered the manhole. You know what I mean? So I just wanna be able to, if this is what we're gonna do, then
Did that
that's all
involve
we're doing.
Scratching and resurfacing, or you just infrared something?
No, he's using, the guy's doing some hot asphalt.
Okay.
And they just feather around the frame.
Okay.
Hoping they're not going around any of the catch basins that if you guys went by with your trench. I didn't really look at the manholes on the catch basin.
Having them down.
Down is good.
Down's good, yeah.
Up is not good. Now, he's got some on his side that I said to him, you need to feather. And just so everybody knows, 27 years ago, when I was on the other phase of that, I took out a transmission truck, so I get one of those covers. We paid $3,000 for the transmission, $750 for that.
Okay, let's say they're feathered, what do they typically last? 5 years, 10 years?
No, yeah, it all depends on,
The-
we've been
the-
very fortunate.
Right,
The last 2
Right.
years, haven't been too many plows on these roads.
Right.
But we are getting, hearing pushback because from the residents there that you guys are gonna continue plowing or blah.
yeah,
This is the selectmen have to figure that out, not me. But like I said, the developer stated to me that he's gonna maintain all his issues with the potholes and the raised structures on this. He pointed out these stuff to me, and I brought it to Dave, so I just wanna make sure that, what I don't wanna see, I don't want the developer to say, well, you're not plowing my road because they didn't do theirs, so guess what? Now he's gonna point the finger at you guys.
oh yeah, he always does.
I tell the developer, when it comes to other departments in this town, I am Switzerland. He did vent, I'm not gonna say we vented about.
No, we all
But,
know.
Sir, you wanna talk to me about highway or trash, I'm your guy. When it comes to anything else up here, not my guy. So I'm trying to be with him. So, like I said, there's not many that really are really that bad. But because of the new policy, I wanna make sure that
No, that's
I don't
fine.
get pushed back from others too. Well, look, you let them do this and
Just get it in writing from him, that's all. You know, I want it on record that, you know, he's saying he's not doing them, he's not his responsibility, whatever.
So, then writing to them a
Yeah.
certified letter.
And then we can
Yes,
respond
actions.
accordingly. And I don't know, I don't know, do we do all of them and get them one done and that's it for another 5 or 10 years? or-
Any work, we just put 8, 9 years, whatever it is.
It's probably 20.
20-ish.
20 years, but like I said, not all of them are that bad. And then as far as 5 or 10 years out, I know that we have an engineer looking now at meets and bounds description. He's looking at the original as-built, so original plans we got to see. Because there are some concerns from different departments that there are obstructions in the ferry that aren't brought through the surface. And now they found a sinkhole or basin that was collapsed. So I know we're looking at that. And I know from my experience here, the residents are at what's end, what's happening up there. There has been talk, some minor talk about maybe eminent domain road and putting out a betterment to everybody on the road. Because as I told them, highway superintendent, I might $3 million to fix that road. Now we have all these other roads that need repairs, so. These are all things that have been going on for us, and I understand that it's like 4 years, and all the same stuff. You can't get him to do what he needs to do. And the residents are angry at the town because they feel like they're not doing what they're supposed to do. And I've reassured them, no, we've been to court with him, we prevailed, now he's appealing. It's his right to do so. Meantime, that's not helping that road. So I'd like to get this passed, at least this winter, because my foreman is gonna be taking it over for the winter, till they find somebody new. So I'm trying to make it, that as an easy transition as possible. And I'm praying to God for the big guy upstairs, that we have, looking like we have for the last two. Where, boy, you come in, you saw, you know. Well,
You're looking for a 2-foot feather.
yeah, because when you go up there, you see it, what they
Oh,
did
yeah.
is
They drop, yeah.
just bring them on a little. And CC's pretty, I mean, CC's.
Yeah.
You'll know what.
Yeah,
They're very good. They're very good.
So-
Fire services, actually.
We'll put a request in for the CNC to get us some numbers.
No, like I said, as long as you're
you want
trying
to see what all of them would be and then you can decide what's the best approach?
Yeah. well,
If there's only a couple, or-
we can do that.
yeah, just,
Just to make sure, like I said, if the basins are in your trench area.
When do we have to
gas
have it in?
basins are flush. with the
5:30.
tank, like I said, there wasn't a flat surface up there to start with, so you guys match what the best you can, I understand.
Yeah, it's easier coming in the spring to redo it, really, you cut it, redo it. So,
But between, like you said, I know that I've talked to the water department about the trenches on Main Street. Before winter sets in, that's something that has to be addressed. Well, that's a state road, their plow guys are not worried about that. I just want to make sure that, like I said, when I leave here November 1st, things are done, so he doesn't have to worry about it, make it easy for him. And have all these residents decide with the selectmen whether or not the continue plowing these private roads is. Most of the people I talk to, most of these roads are simple. Cut back a few tree limbs. There's dirt roads that have a little scouring in them, throw some dirt in. It's not, like I said, we are not trying to get the roads off the road, but we need to bring them up some standards. I have some more meetings next week scheduled, and I can be so friendly, and it's down the road.
I mean, I could see all the small private roads and you pick them up, that's fine. But subdivision, going in there, and these guys are making millions and millions of dollars. They're not finishing off their roads. The planning board should be just all over. I think they are, but their hands are
Like I
tied.
said, I know the planning board, the town, I mean, they're trying everything they can.
Yeah.
We've, like I said, they brought him to court, we prevailed, now he's appealing it. That could be another year, 2 years, 3 years down the road. And it is right to appeal, but in the meantime, well, everybody's, I don't know what's going to happen.
so
But, you know, going back to our council and taking care of our asset, what you're asking for, at least that buys us the year, we can get it in writing. If he doesn't do that, that's another legal question.
yeah,
But, you know, either way, the more I think about this, our assets probably But the short money is gonna be protecting what we have to take care of. It's the real thing
Okay,
and sort it out later. I mean, whatever it is, I can't imagine it being a whole lot of money.
so is that for just a few or,
I would think just the 20 that are
yeah,
not our responsibility, but our
It's-
sewer
Ah,
infrastructure.
right, okay,
It's still in question too. We still haven't figured that out.
right. But we'll do all 20 now, just to one and done and find out what
I
the
can meet you out there.
legal says.
We'll take it, we'll go look and see which ones really need them. So they've been there for 25 years, so,
I'll throw some paint on them and we can just have them come through and bang.
hopefully he'll hold up his end of the bar, and it'll be a seamless, we'll still probably go up in the flowers.
So- Do we want to do all of them at this time, or do we just want to do the ones that need to be done?
You and I can drive it.
Right, we'll see, I mean,
Throw a bunch
Okay.
of the ones that need to be done.
That's fine.
well, it's all on my,
Yeah, let's make sure.
Right.
Okay, well, okay, I'll just make a motion to, feather the manholes that need, that as needed, determined by both superintendents.
A second.
All in favor? Aye. Got that? Jeannie? Yes. Okay, Okay.
Availability Wednesday. Friday.
next week,
Oh, no, Wednesday.
next week, keeps no, on Wednesday or Thursday. Well, we can talk, I don't care. I got Venus here. It's good.
Give me some options. I'm pretty flexible.
I know you were.
Simple.
That nice office you got there. Of course, you know, Ken Van Down, Bob Moynihan, and.
Didn't have as many headaches either.
No, I mean, as somebody that's seen that plan from original, from day one,
The rest
to
is
where it is today.
all home.
It is done, you guys have done a great job with that plan.
This is the first opening. They didn't give us one of this for the second phase. We had this nice culture out back.
That's a good thing back in those days.
yeah,
We did.
We had more money than we needed. Difference between now and then.
And I did see here, I did director, is that directed to me or to operating?
no, the selectmen apparently discussing it tonight,
They are.
that, they may think about a DPW director, is that, since you're here, what did,
For a couple of years, as you might remember, when you used to be chairman of the board. I think it's time that the town has an engineer, whether it's on my job or Jason's job. Town should start thinking about having an engineer running those. So we went from having that discussion to now, does the town want to start going down the road of the DPW? No. You and I have been around knowing that discussion happened 10, 12 years ago.
25.
It's right.
numerous times.
Numerous times. This is the first time that both building and highway are vacant the same. So does it make sense to start talking about DPW now? That's what he's bringing from the select. If he wants to do a DPW, he has to change the job description. When you change the job description, you gotta go to wage personnel. Once you change the job description, wage personnel, then you have to go to town meeting and have them vote on it. So that's in April. And if they vote on yes, then you can hire somebody on a piece of July. So we're looking at a 10-month period now that might not have a highway. So he wants to get the idea of whether or not the selectmen would want him to start going down that road, or if they should have you guys and the water commissions come in to have a joint discussion on future needs of the town. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But that's all that is. I mean, he told Dave this morning, he told Chris this morning. Somebody should weigh in this from your team, or someone should weigh in on this. Like I said, I have my personal feelings what should happen. But unless I see a big influx in money in this town, I don't see that happen.
What's the added value,
The added value for what, DPW?
including water and sewer and, yeah, what's the added
I
value?
think I don't know what his plans are, whether it's economies of scale, where there are some days when my guys aren't as busy as they could be, or some days your guys aren't busy, or what, I don't know. One big DPW, because every other town has it. But where my.
It's a hierarchy? Hierarchy?
Once again, I don't know, now, when I talked about it with the previous board of selectmen, with Mr. Beaton, it was 2 sewer commissioners with the most time left on their tenure, 2 water commissioners with the most time left on their tenure. and then a member at large. I didn't agree with that person, but that was me. I don't know if he's discussed this with water or I don't know.
No,
So I think all he's trying to do is see from the board, what do they want to do here? Do you want to keep it the way it is? If that's the case, then you can advertise my position tomorrow and start trying to find something to fill it. Or if the town's gonna change it, start going through the wage and personnel board, start trying to do a comprehensive.
If it
study.
ain't broke, don't try to fix it.
and mass general law, anyway, it's a whole nother discussion.
Right, I mean, that's.
It's on tonight, right?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
no,
I'm gonna go, I'm staying for the meeting.
that's an item too. So all it is he's gonna ask the board, and I think there'll only be 4 members tonight. I mean, what do you want to do? You want to try to go down this road? Do we leave it as is? If that's the case, let's post my job.
What's the benefit to the town? It really does.
So the way I looked at it is yesterday afternoon after 3 o'clock, I got 23 emails. So the water department is probably getting hit with as many emails in a day. You're getting hit with as many. You do all that stuff on one person. They're gonna be spread so thin, how are they gonna deal with the day-to-day stuff?
The DPW director would be above you, me, and Chris. You still have a wastewater superintendent, a water superintendent, and highway superintendent. You have a DPW director. As it was.
So add another salary to it.
But, like I said, this is what it was discussing.
But then everybody above that needs to get more money because now they have a
Yeah.
higher
Yeah.
person reporting to them.
And we're enterprise fund,
Right.
the water department and us, and it's like.
First time in 23 years this position's been open. So he's gotta ask them what they want to do.
Yeah,
The tires, see what the options
That means our user rates are gonna go through the roof to pay for this. So it's gonna be the users that are gonna be paying for it.
Once again, I don't think it's got a lot of traction. But I think at this juncture, I think he needs to ask them what their plans are.
The idea of an engineer working for the town is a great idea.
You know, like I
For
said,
everybody.
I like to see that in the building department. Because I did talk to a few people
Yeah.
that are engineers that are DPW director. And their concerns are, just like you said, is, like, so I got an engineer that knows about roads. They know about sewer,
Right.
they know about water district. Right? If you have a general, an engineer that's a general educated guy, just to look at plan before we have to, I mean, I don't know what you guys are, I don't see the M's costing you guys a lot of money, my engineers cost me a lot of money. If we had somebody in house, we just say, look at this, what do you think, before we send it out?
It's
Maybe.
definitely a great idea. Just- And the experience and knowledge will just help everybody.
Yeah, but how you accomplish it?
Great idea with building a highway.
And, you know, for that salary, you know, is it more feasible to just outsource that stuff? Like they've been doing. Just,
Right, I mean, it's, once
That's
again,
what the
this is
discussion
above my
was.
pay scale, but for the first time in 20-something years, he has this opportunity, so this is what they say.
Well, if it gets traction and goes anywhere,
Yeah, I mean,
we
you
can
guys can
certainly
weigh in,
have
too. I'm
our
sure the
talking
population's
points.
aware.
Okay, thank you.
We
We gotta be out of here at 5:30.
I'll be on, I'll see you at 6 o'clock.
Um,
Thank you, Paul.
44 Pole Street is looking for an accessory unit dwelling. There's a structure on the property now that he's looking to convert to an accessory dwelling unit. And Dave's been familiar with it, so.
Yeah, like Elaine said, particular property, they're looking to change what seems to be an outbuilding of sorts, whether it's a garage, storage building of some sort. And he's looking to change that over to a bedroom. Currently, I think the town had the property listed, from our records as a 2-bedroom. I reached back out to the homeowner and he said it is a 3-bedroom. So, they're looking at putting this outbuilding in. So I just wanted time to bring it forward to the board and see what, which way we go with this. If it is truly a 3-bedroom, as he says, our policy is that we can do the 4-bedroom complete at this point.
We're not trying to subdivide or anything, it's still gonna be under one occupancy.
Yeah, so the email I
One
got
owner.
from the gentleman was basically that he wants to set up this outbuilding for his daughter and grandkid.
I don't have a problem with it, as long as he's not putting another address on it.
One of these affordable, the thing we just passed the town meeting.
Yeah.
Affordable accessory unit. Right. Have they been, just, you said it was two, it's listed as 2 on our records. And
It's-
it was 3?
The
So-
assessors,
Yeah, originally, from when we first put in the sewer system, it was listed as a 2-bedroom. And I think the assessor's card might also mimic that, but, you know, he did say it's a 3-bedroom.
So does that change the betterment that he was charged? And does it
No.
change anything like that?
no, because all the betterments were based on a 3-bedroom.
Right. I just thought that.
Yeah.
Somebody, we made an adjustment
Yeah.
down.
And then we made an adjustment,
Yeah.
phase
Well, there's
one.
nothing we owe, we're owed, I think it's something like that.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
And based like Dave said, we allow a fourth by having this discussion, you know, so we allow a fourth, and we can always, you know, approve this, and zoning and everything else is a whole nother issue.
Right.
But,
All we're doing is checking the box. to
right,
sort the process.
we've got capacity.
That he's got.
And if at any time throughout the process, we find out it's more than 4 bedrooms, then we come back and they'll pay the
Per
difference.
bedroom each, yeah.
It's all on one lot, right?
Yes,
I'll make the motion to approve
So-
it
okay,
It's an accessory dwelling, but it's detached. So.
on the same lot.
right.
Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve it. I mean,
Second, yeah,
All in favor? Aye.
aye.
Okay. 195 summer?
is this one you told me about?
Yes. So 195 summer, I got some paperwork from, I don't know, a couple, maybe a week or so ago. I guess they're looking to develop the property more into kind of a similar fashion, upsize the bedroom count. And what caught me was at the end of our sewer line now, it pretty much comes just about up to the property line, this property.
Yeah.
So I just kind of wanted to get some clarity before I responded to, what I'm seeing is, I guess they want to upsize their septic system to manage this new bedroom count. And where our sewer line actually doesn't come up Summer Street, it comes up the easement of the Kingsbury Club and stops at the driveway for the bog, and then Riley's Auto Parts. So I didn't know how this would play into being just kind of at the top end of our sewer system. Obligated in any way to turn in, or is something that would stay on a septic system?
Good question.
And that's a gravity line up there to that point?
Yeah.
Right. So.
So I did take some pictures, and it's kind of a tough call on where it lands. This is the existing
Are you
line.
offering them the choice of either doing a septic system or
I
tying it?
haven't spoken to anyone over there.
Okay,
This just came across my desk, and they're looking for,
You know when the approval is, that they're trying to get approval yet?
I know.
they're basically looking for me to comment on.
I mean, but they're not asking us for permission to tie in. They're just gonna upgrade. They
No,
wanna upgrade
It
the
looks
system.
like they would just, full septic systems upgrades.
If we gave them the option and they said, oh yeah, we'd love to hook up the sewer, is it doable?
Well, I imagine they might have to, well, they definitely have to trench all the way across Summer Street. And I don't know how the easement setup was arranged through, is Tarkil Road is over here.
Yeah,
They bump over to a manhole on the property of the Kingsbury Club.
So that our main is not in the street.
It's not in the
It's on
street.
private property.
It jumps over through this, the transition, and it pops. There's 3 sewer lines actually side by side here that run all the way up. One runs to the Kingsbury Club, one ties up to the bog, the third one goes up to a manhole right at the entrance of that O'Reilly Auto Parts driveway. it hits that manhole, runs up to O'Reilly. So he's actually across the street right here. So
So,
he'd have to come across
He's really not
Summer
in any
Street
proximity to
and
wetlands. or
come
anything
into
either.
what I would imagine is either an easement or some sort of private property being in the driveway.
I'd say just leave it alone, let him process through. Because realistically, I mean, I know the area, there's no real wetlands in there, there's no environmental issues that I would be saying, okay, there's got a swamp that feeds into the brook and, you know, it's there. And that might be a logistic nightmare trying to get across the road for one, and then dealing with easements on private property.
yes, I have a completely different. 4 things. One is state law, Title 5 says if there's a sewer in front of your house, you have to hook up. Septic systems do not treat wastewater at all to the level we do. And to your point, there is right by with CVS and what's it called? What's the restaurant there?
Taxis.
Taxis, yeah. There's a whole bunch of wetlands right there. It's just on the other side of Falcon Road. And that goes directly into, that Mine Brook.
Okay,
Yeah, it's right there. If you went back with the bowling alley is all that, that's all right there. So I guess what I'm getting at is I think they have to do it. I think we have an option of doing it or not. It's the betterment issue, it's our fees. And the intent always not, that's what the sewer is. It's intent to do this whole neighborhood for that reason. If this person's doing a major upgrade, that's 40 grand. 30, 40 grand. And it's not cheap. To go under the street, you wouldn't have to dig up the street. It's a directional drilling. You would never have to you drill under the street. So there's no cops, there's nothing involved. You go right across into that, what's it, a 4-inch line or something? It must be small. Parallel lines?
Running this way,
Yeah.
that's either a 6 or an 8.
6. So then we just tie it into a 6 or 8 inch with a manhole, we could have another tie-in. I mean,
So it looks like I looked up our folder, we didn't have anything in it, but on 6/14/23, they were basically looking to change the classification of 195 Summer Street from a single-family home to a 2-family home. So I assume that's what's kind of bringing this through. They're looking for,
yeah, so they're making a major upgrade. I mean, at least the option to give them for less money and never have a headache in the future. You can hook up, we suggest it, hook up. I mean, I think they should by law. The Title 5 is very clear.
Well, technically, that's not in the street layout, it's on private property. But could they argue the point that
They
doesn't
could.
actually go in front of my house, it's on somebody's property?
But the easement is a sewer easement. I think the sewer easement was a matter of, they could.
Mhm.
I think the sewer easement is a matter of convenience when they put this in to keep out of the state highway. Because that's a whole curb cut issue.
Right.
Um,
what if we gave them the option and then see about getting a meeting with Board of Health, a joint meeting?
Yeah.
About talking about when
yeah,
these
let's
come
talk- at
down.
least talk about it, yeah, because it's an easement. Is this,
Because Board of Health, maybe as these things come up, now that we have capacity,
well, I just mentioned this to Joyce, that's on the way, and I mentioned that this was coming up.
Yeah.
She had no idea about this, so I don't know where it is with them, but I'm just looking at the street layout. Because they have the stations. See, it's odd to have the stations on the edge of the road. It's like, this should be the center of the road. See, like, I don't know where the edge of the road is. And this is an easement. I don't see, oh, yeah, 24 wide easement.
My point is, that that's running on someone's private property, even though, am I obligated to tie in because the guy across the street ran it from there to his shop out back there? Now it's physically in front of but it's not in the road layout.
The question I would ask is this sewer, these pipes are ours. We own them. If you had a question, if that manhole or this sewer breaks, who's fixing it? I would think it's coming into our manhole, they need to connect. It's not a connection. This is the connection for the manhole. So that's their responsibility. I'm questioning it, is that our responsibility? The 8-inch PVC line that is ours. So-
I'm sure we had some easement put together on
Yeah, I mean,
that.
that's why there's an easement there, right?
Yeah.
So
See if we can find anything old on that.
I don't wanna go down, when we have an opportunity, let's get back to the business side. So we have an opportunity, we have a rule of law, says because of the wastewater treatment capacity to reduce nitrogen problem, and all these things we're talking about. Here's an example. And, if we start affecting it, oh, you don't have to do it. This whole neighborhood now, Talcan Road particularly should be on the subway. It doesn't have to, but it should. It goes down to the south, the health center.
Right.
Yeah.
To the medical center.
But everybody up there, I know several people there. I know that one has a cesspool, and it's all clay.
So because we don't have, do we want to give them the option to connect because we have capacity and then make it known? That's why I mean, if we
Yeah, I
have
think giving them.
Board of
the-
Health,
Yeah.
get everybody involved, so it's not like
Yeah.
all of a
They
sudden,
may jump around.
Yeah. it's not like all of a
Yeah,
sudden
that
we're
may-
finding out
Just give the option, I think.
the manholes have to be
But
done.
the question is, what if he decides, the owner decides he doesn't want it? I am.
Then I would leave it at that. Because my opinion is and I agree, this is approach we should start taking. I think we need to make it more public
I get you, okay.
and to include the Board of Health in the discussions. And even building that, if anything comes down that's close to a line, hey, and though Dave caught this.
So
and-
we had done that, there was, off of, so down off of Smith's Lane. With Union Road, was.
Kingston.
He came in and asked,
Yeah,
if-
Kennedy,
and you would be, come in
right,
and further, if he could continue the line to get down to his property, and we gave him permission, he said yes,
right.
but then he decided to go with on-site systems, did he, on that property?
One may have, but Kennedy Road connected.
The one pumps that they put in there and their spaghetti lines that run over, tie into the manhole.
Oh, okay, so they did take advantage of us, okay, all right.
The long-term financial benefit is not even a question.
Right,
Without a doubt.
right. And you can spread it out over 20, 30 years.
Forget the environmental,
Right.
just the cost to do this. I mean, I look at that system, that's a $40,000 system.
So in regards to that one, we'll put a letter saying that you have the option to tie into
Yeah,
our
I'd like to
system.
invite you in
Let them
and
know
talk-
where it
Yeah.
is.
Talk to us about it.
Yeah, we have capacity and
Open
So
discussion.
what would be the fee? Betterment fee on that one, this is new,
we haven't set any other fee but 22,000.
okay,
Depending on bedroom, if it's 4 or 5, if it's 5 bedrooms, then it would be more
they're going.
based on the
for four.
rules.
They're going for four.
Okay, then right now, today it would be 22.
Okay. But that's only for
And
three
then-
hundred and 30 gallons.
And then he'd
Well,
bring
after
the
the
system,
4. We would approve the 4.
and he'd just
I
pay
thought
for bringing it.
I thought we
over.
only approved that for
Yeah, you just make the book up,
existing
like everybody
houses in phase one and phase two.
Is that what it's?
So the betterment, is the betterment.
Not anything new, because otherwise you get the developer come in and put in all 4-bedroom houses.
Okay, we read the rule.
Okay, yeah, I do believe that the ruling is that on the first on Cole Street, was anything that was in phase one and phase two residential was allowed to take on one more without a fee,
Okay,
because these people have been paying for the system
Right,
for the last 20, 25, 30 years,
okay,
or 25 years.
yeah.
okay,
And then anything that was new coming up was only, the betterment was only gonna be for 330 gallons.
and then they would pay the
And then we pay
extra.
the extra for one bedroom.
Okay,
So if you
That's
take
the-
20.
yeah,
divided by
that would
three,
make sense.
So it's gonna be
See what the
22
language
plus
says. Yeah,
7.
yeah.
29.
Which
Does
would,
it make sense to send it to the engineer who's designing this, to just, instead of proposing
Send it to both.
would have heard.
Yeah, it's kind of going through the planning department and they're looking for a special permit.
Yeah, this is
so
the check off that they need from us
I'll
to
just,
continue on.
I'll work with Jeannie, we'll get a letter drafted up that you're welcome to tie into our system. It's right across the street. We have capacity to hold,
it?
Yeah,
A copy,
come in.
Joyce, I just made her aware of that, because you told me last week, and I made her aware of it last week, and
Yeah.
I saw it coming in, and she says, I haven't seen this yet. So I
Yeah.
said that I know Dave was
stopped in
interested.
yesterday.
Yeah, the sooner the better, because you're holding up this process.
Yeah.
Or we're holding up this process, the checking off the box.
I walked in to see Joyce yesterday. She wasn't in and then today. Find out. We'll deal with that.
Okay,
Okay, CDM reimbursements, number 7, it sounds like some money came in last week that we gotta just verify that they got it?
I spoke with Ken just about an hour before the meeting.
Okay.
He did receive the 50-something thousand dollars, which I imagine was some of the preliminary expenses.
Okay, Yeah.
From the
And
state?
yeah, reimbursement
okay.
back from the state. And the anticipation, which I haven't got confirmation on, that just the next thing should start rolling now that one payment came in. It should just be progressively
okay, so,
following up.
okay,
So I just responded back to CDM, let them know that, yes, we did get this amount and that we anticipate the rest is forthcoming.
okay.
So,
So we'll move along with what we've got in the queue.
yeah,
Okay,
I would think that's reasonable.
okay. Just rate study, we're not gonna have time for. Procedure for tracking new construction?
Oh, yeah, just as far as a lot of these things coming through now.
Yeah.
So we don't lose track of what is rolling through the system. I don't know what was done in the past, but you want, as each one of these comes up, usually have about a week to 3 weeks to respond back to them. So I was thinking of bringing every one of them up to the board, get your opinion on it, we'll write a letter. And we'll just copy the letter, leave it in with the file on it, because there's a whole lot of things that just kind of come in and out the door and without being able to track.
These are new construction to hook up to the sewer?
Well, just whatever there's, well, let's say someone on name of the street, they were putting a addition on the back of their house. Typically what I do, if they're on the sewer system, if they're not on the sewer system, I say it doesn't apply. I
Yeah.
have no opinions on it. But I'll copy the sewer card, front and back, so they know where their sewer line is, how deep it is. And also a letter saying, hey, you're responsible for anything you touch or break. But just formally, if there's anything you guys want to add to it, we can add to it if I bring it to the meeting. And then we'll just make copies of all our interaction with it.
Okay.
Because I think a lot of that, there's things that come around now that without Bob being here and Sarah, a lot of the stuff, we don't know quite what happens. At least we can have a system that goes to track some of the stuff that's going on.
So you
I
get,
feel a little
you get,
close the loop on
you
it.
get, this comes from the planning board, basically, or the building department?
We get stuff from the building department, the planning board, the health department, you don't know what department.
So a lot of them,
Zoning.
are nowhere near the sewer, but you get them anyways.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah, sometimes I get stuff on things that have nothing to do with this.
just trying to understand, make sure that some of we somehow, no, you're not in these streets.
And
yet.
those were a non-issue, but like this 195 was
Yeah.
on sewer system.
That's in.
But now,
thing.
just the fact that it came
Yeah.
through us, trying to track some of this stuff.
Okay, we get like 5 minutes. So, Country Club Way, number 3, is that an update? Is that,
I think that was what Paul talked about.
oh, okay, the manhole?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
You saw the emails about the speeding trucks and all that was taken care of, so
Yeah.
then.
They're very good. They're
Yeah,
quick.
they're very good. That's why I said, you've done such a great job. I hate that some stupid thing.
Yep.
Mess it up.
Staffing, where do we stand with the outstanding job descriptions? Do we intervene? Do we want a letter from the board?
We may have to take it a further step than where I've gone. I've emailed human resources multiple times, looking for clarity on many different issues. I haven't even had a response on the email.
Okay.
So, from what I understand, there is a meeting with the union and HR, I believe next Thursday, not this Thursday, but a week from. That hopefully will address these issues I'm dealing with.
Okay,
I would say if I don't hear anything in 3 weeks, I'm gonna have to address it with Keith and see what's going on with the delays. Right now, I'm shorthanded. We have tons of work to do, and being shorthanded, not having the reclassification done for our station operator that's now mandated to have a grade 5 license to be on call. These are things that are really affecting the department, and I'm not getting the response I need.
Then if
So,
you don't, if the positive doesn't come out from Thursday's union meeting, we can call a quick meeting, and I don't want it to be dragged out anymore.
gotcha.
So let us know, and if we have to have a meeting to put a letter together or whatever.
Just this may, right, when would that be then? Again,
It's a week from Thursday.
that's next.
Yeah,
And this week, tomorrow, we're doing the air relief valve. Reworking on Rocky North bypassing the entire station tomorrow. And then the following Wednesday, similar option with the Jones River. So the next couple weeks, I don't want to complicate my life with adding this piece to it, but it needs to be dealt with.
okay,
It's been going on since January 4th.
right, exactly. So,
We'll be going on a year.
and it's not fair to the employee, not to the department.
And a lot of big stuff, these teardrop valve things, these aren't easy jobs to do.
Bypassing the whole entire pump station. 150,000 gallons while we do this. 50,000 gallons come through that station a day. And we gotta keep the flow out of there until we're done.
Failure is not an option.
Right.
Yeah.
Talk about
And
stress.
it's all hands on deck. I don't even have a spare guy to help out tomorrow, so it's one of those things that it's definitely starting. to affect.
It's a few Olympics, put it in perspective.
And just the CDM list for DEP.
Oh, yes, so many variables.
Yeah, I know.
The feedback I got now that we asked this is, now they're looking, we've got the time restraint to make.
Right.
And they just sent this back that basically for each pump, blower, VFD, they're all looking for cut sheets on it. Whether they're for spare or replacement, what's the labor to put them in. So now they're throwing this back on the 9th inning here to try and get some information together. So I'm gonna try and get that stuff. And they also want a system map and ID location of all of our pump stations. And we're looking to, get spares.
So we have upwards of $600,000 to
I believe that's.
give or take.
Yeah.
And what your request is, how much is all this add up to? Give or take.
I would say 200, 250, somewhere in that range.
Okay.
And was there any response on the tractor and those things? And the sanders?
That I believe is all. No, that'd be part of the leaching agreement.
Well,
This,
they were gonna add it to this.
okay,
They were
so
adding to this.
maybe Tom and
Yeah.
Lauren added it. to
They
this.
said they would, and they had it by November 1st, but I don't see anything here responding to it. And we did provide cut sheets and all of the content, so we may have already, but that, I just make
Yeah,
sure that we don't.
pumps, I didn't provide cut sheets, I just told them what horsepower and what.
We just have a meeting.
Yeah,
at
we'll-
5:30. Okay.
Yeah, we know. We're
Okay.
trying to wrap up.
Okay, thank
Thanks.
you.
Okay, so,
So, yeah, I gave them a list of pumps, but not cut sheets. And I've already had, someone come in last week, and they're working on getting that information to this week.
So that leaves additional funds that,
Oh, could be in the 400,000 range.
maybe we can think of something else.
so my list was around 75, 80 for the attachments and the tractor and all that.
Okay.
So that was, there's still money, but
Yeah.
Just one more thing, are
Yeah.
we gonna try and meet next Tuesday?
I can't do Tuesday, but any other night. Because we gotta get this race study.
Okay.
okay,
Monday, does Monday work?
I'm available on the one.
Okay.
we have, just the last thing, I did get this morning confirmation, Tyler Richard and Don Albright, and we'll meet at 8:15 at the treatment plant
Nice.
for an hour.
On Friday.
And you got that, right? So if any of you want to come, we need to post a meeting for Friday. So you know,
Okay,
No, that's okay.
and not that you weren't invited, but.
send me an email.
Right,
Like a
it,
day.
it complicates
I only
things.
found out this morning, it was.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.